Hey you guys, so if you're following along in McGraw-Hill, we are in chapter 3. We are getting into division, and I know a lot of you might panic when you hear that we're dividing, but division can be really fun, and there's so many ways you can work with division, just like there's so many ways you can multiply. So if you haven't yet, check out my video on how to relate division to multiplication as we work with fact families before you watch this. A great first intro into dividing is using models. When we say we're using models, we're going to use like pictures or blocks or anything you want to example how you can divide. Divide is to break up a number into equal pieces. That's the most important part. So as we see here, our problem is 10 divided by 2 equals what? If you know your fact family, you might already know that answer. Or use multiplication for going backwards, and you'd be able to fill in that blank spot. But that was last time's lesson. So let's go ahead and look at this. I went ahead and set this up, and this is how I recommend setting it up if you'd like to use the model. The question or the equation is 10 divided by 2 is what? So my model is 10 little blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 blocks, and I always draw, so you always draw what the first number is because that is the number that's being broken up. The 2 is how many groups to create. Every time in your equation, this first number is the number that you're breaking up. This number is how many equal groups. Hint, it must be equal. Because it must be equal, if you have some other numbers out here that are left over, maybe you have one left over, that's fine. You call it a remainder. But we're not going to see that in this example just yet. We're just going to focus on fact families that do go in evenly and that create equal groups. So let's go ahead and start. So how do we do this? Well, I have 10 and I want to put them in equally. So my hint is to go 1 by 1 or 2 by 2. Let's do 2 by 2 since it's a little bit smaller of a number. It won't take long. Let's do 2 at a time here and then 2 at a time here. Okay, so far they're equal. Kind of looks like a happy face. Okay, sorry, going back. So far they are equal, right? We have 2 dots here, 2 dots here. Let's keep going. Can I do 2 here and 2 here? Yep, so far so good. And then I have 2 left. Well, I can't put 2 here and then not put any here because it has to be equal. So you should only put 1 here and 1 here. Now, those went in equally. How do I know? Count how many dots you have in each of your groups. If it's equal, you did it right. Otherwise, you need to recount and see if you have a remainder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are equal. I don't have anything left over. How many were in each group? There was 5 in each group, so the answer is 5. So my fact family for this one was 10 divided by 2 is 5, and I know that because 5 times 2 is 10. So our answer to this problem is 5, and we did that using models. Let's go ahead and do another one. Let's go ahead and do a bigger one. Let's do a 24 divided by 3. You might not know the fact family for this one, or you might not know if it goes in evenly or not. You could have a remainder, so let's find out. First, remember the number that's over here is always the number that's going to be drawn in your models. So 24, we go by blocks of 10, it's just easier. So if this is 10, 10, okay, and then I have another one to make 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I have 4 ones. Okay, and how many groups? We have 3 groups. So I always draw 3 big circles. And I always write even to remind myself I must be putting them in evenly. I'm going to do 3 at a time just because we have more blocks to work with, and I can definitely put 3 in each to start out with. So 1, 2, 3. Notice how I cross it out every time to make sure I don't recount a block because then that doesn't work. 1, 2, 3. You don't want to repeat any. And then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so far so good. I have equal groups, but look at how many blocks I'm left with. I'm going to go ahead and do 3 again because I do have quite a bit more. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 blocks left. Well, it has to be even, so I'm going to do one at a time. So 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then look at that. When you get down to like a few blocks, any blocks less than 5, if you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 left, always count and make sure, okay, can I evenly put them in there? Don't start putting them in there unless you know you can take an even amount in each. Otherwise, it might get confusing and you'll have to go back and erase. But I do have 1, 2, 3 left, and I have 3 groups, so I would be able to put 1 in each without having any remainder, and let's make sure we did it right. We should have the same amount in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yay! They each have 8, so that means our fact family was a 24, 3, and 8. 24 divided by 3 is 8, and again, we just did that using models. So I hope that helps you guys. This is, again, a great way to divide numbers without doing the algorithm, and I think it's fun because you get to draw the models. All right, you guys, I hope that helps you.